Welcome to your new home. This is the proven path to home ownership. Today we'll talk you through the process, the 10 steps to buying your own home. It seems like an unrealistic thing for a lot of people who haven't gone through the process before. There's a lot of questions, a lot of variables that are unknown, and we'd like to walk through that today, answer a lot of those questions, and clarify what the path to home ownership really looks like. My name is George Avila with 2A Realty Group, brokered by Keller Williams. Please take down my contact information on your screen. Call me, text me, email me with any questions you may have. Also have the QR code in the corner there. You can scan that, save my info to your phone, and no obligations here to work with me. I would love to help you all out in any way that I can. Just be a resource to answer any questions you may have and help you out in any way I possibly can. A little bit about me. I am a father of 8, yes, 8 children. My wife and I have going on 22 years. Never planned on a big family, but we ended up with a big family and are blessed with 8 children. I'm the owner of 2A Realty Group, also 2A Home Loans, as well as a few other businesses in related fields. What we'll cover today: fears versus facts of buying a new home, realities of our market today. We're going to go through 10 simple steps to home ownership and your next steps from there. Starting off with fears versus facts about buying a home. You'll see some of these on your screen. Fear number 1, can't afford to buy a home right now. That's a big concern for a lot of people, especially right now, but that's always the case. The fact is, until you do the math, you don't know if you can or can't afford a home, or what level of home, what price point you can or cannot afford. There's a fear of, I should wait until the market gets better. And we've seen a lot of that the last couple of years. A lot of people had that fear, and some people pushed through it, bought, and are glad they did. Some people did not and are wishing they did. So the fact is, there's never a bad time to buy the right home. Fear of not having the money for the down payment. Well, the fact is, there are a variety of down payment options available to you. There's different variables, from down payment assistance programs to getting funds gifted potentially, as well as some programs that require a very minimal, or in some cases with a VA if you're a veteran. Some cases you can come in with zero money down. And in today's market, we're having a lot of success with getting seller credits to go toward those closing costs for a lot of our buyers. Fear about credit. Can't afford to buy a home because my credit isn't very good. Fact is, there are always options. There are a lot of programs out there for lesser credit scores, and there are a lot of things that we can do and help you work through to improve your credit score as well. There's a common misconception out there that everybody wants to buy their dream home. But the reality is, the best way to get closer to buying your dream home is to buy your first home. And most people can't just jump in and buy their dream home right off the bat. But you can build toward that through equity and buying that initial home and work your way up. There's a fear of student loan debt. A lot of people feel that they should pay their student loan debt off before buying a home. But the reality is that it doesn't prevent you from buying a home. And again, we can work through those questions and those fears and help you out to get a clearer picture of what is and what isn't feasible. Why buy now? Well, interest rates are higher than they've been, right? They've actually come down over the last several weeks. Right now, averaging 6 5/8 to 7 3/8, compared to the peak of 8.5 plus that we saw just in the past 30 days or so. And that is as of today, as of this recording. You may be looking at lower rates or higher rates in today's market as you're watching this. But again, reach out, and happy to talk to you about those numbers, what that looks like in today's market as you're watching this. Your long-term investment is going to grow. This is one of the biggest reasons to buy a home. Your equity is going to build up. Your value is going to appreciate over time. It always has historically in real estate. You can't make any guarantees that from month to month or year to year your value is going to go up, but historically, over the long haul, real estate values go up. Debt pay down. You're actually able to pay down what you owe in a much more efficient manner. Mortgage rates are lower than what you'll get on other investments. You're going to get pride of home ownership, stability and security that comes with that, sense of community, freedom to customize your home versus a rental where you have to really be worried about what you can and cannot do because it's not your home. It's a home that you're renting. It's somebody else's asset, somebody else's property. Tax benefits. There are a number of tax benefits to owning your own home, and it is the number one wealth builder in the world is owning real estate. Owning versus renting. Little graphic example here. If you were to purchase a home for $300,000 and pay $2,000 per month toward your mortgage, these are some real world numbers that we've been seeing with a 7% interest rate and a 20% down payment, just to set the standard here. Over 30 years, you will have paid $635,000. Big number, right, for a $300,000 house? It is. But you own an asset that has grown in value well over that amount. In 30 years, we can't say what the value will be, but if you look historically, it will be well above that $635,000. Compare that to renting, and if you're paying $2,000 per month toward your landlord's mortgage, if you're renting, is what you're doing. Over the course of 30 years, you will have paid $720,000 and you own nothing. And that's assuming your rent doesn't go up, which is not likely. So as you can see, you will have paid $95,000 more, $85,000. I think I did my math wrong there. In addition, you own nothing. Realities of our market. Average home price in Rockwall County is $400,000, give or take, a little bit above $400,000 right now. Interest rates, again, 6 5/8 to 7 3/8 right now. It is currently a balanced market. Even though we have low inventory, there's relatively low demand. So that is keeping the market in balance, which means that there are good deals to be had out there. And the growth of the area increasing is going to lead to continued demand and supply. So the fear and the thing that we're looking at is interest rates, right? So the reality of this is, as interest rates come down, more people step into the market. More people are saying, okay, I'm ready to buy now. Well, there's a lot of pent up demand. There's a lot of people that have been holding off on buying a home, selling their house. So what's going to happen is as those rates drop and more people get into the market, we're going to get back to high competition, more than likely, back to what we had seen the last couple of years with multiple offers, houses selling above asking price. So now is a great time to buy. Again, scan the QR code. You can download my app. It's a great home base to your home search. There's real-time information about your transaction in there once you get into a transaction, but you don't have to get to that point to use the app. You can use it just as a search, save your searches. One of the cool features of it is it outlines the neighborhood. So if you're looking at specific neighborhoods, it's very easy to see visually which homes are in which neighborhood. You can also set up collections in there. You can collaborate with your spouse or whoever else you may be home searching with. 10 easy steps to home ownership. We're going to get into this in detail, but number one, decide to buy. Step number one. Then you need to find an agent that you're going to work with, secure financing, identify your criteria, find your home, make an offer, perform your due diligence, close, move in and protect your investment, and then you're going to enjoy service for a lifetime. So our system provides insights beyond the ordinary homebuyer's research. We bring a lot to the table in what we do for our clients in helping you find the perfect home for you. So step number one, decide to buy. Home ownership lays the foundation for a life of financial security and personal choice. If you understand equity, you understand that on closing day, your equity begins to build up. So by year 22, and this is a typical 30-year mortgage, by year 22, your home is half paid off. And that's just the way that the interest works. It takes till year 22 to get to that halfway point. By year 30, your home is paid off in full. There are different things you can do here as far as making some additional payments to shorten up that time period substantially as well. Step number 2, find your agent. I would love to work with you. I'd love the opportunity to speak with you in person if we haven't, or by phone, Zoom call. As your buyer's agent, I will educate you about the market, analyze your wants and needs, help you find homes that fit your criteria. I'm not looking to just find you a home. I'm looking to find you the home. Coordinate the work of other professionals. I'll negotiate on your behalf, and I will solve any problems that may arise throughout the process. A buyer's representation agreement is a document that sets mutual expectations in writing. It empowers me to work on your behalf, and it confirms our fiduciary relationship. Basically, what that means is you're the priority. Your needs, your wants are my priority, and that is what comes first. Your agent's team includes your agent, of course, marketing team, lender, appraiser, inspector, contractor, closing coordinator, escrow officer. There could be more in there, but there's a good foundation of what the team is going to look like if you work with me. Moving on to step number 3, secure pre-approved financing. And this is a huge step. 7 steps to doing so, to financing a home, are number 1, establishing your budget. Number 2, choosing the right lender. Number 3, applying for a loan and getting approved. Then you need to decide among your mortgage options, which your mortgage professional will help you work through those options, talk about the benefits of each one, and help you attain your goals with the right product. From there, you're going to submit an accepted purchase contract to the lender once we go through the process of finding the right home for you. And we negotiate it, we get all that squared away. You're going to submit that accepted purchase contract to the lender. You're going to get an appraisal and title on it, and then you'll obtain funding at closing. We'll break that down a little bit. So establishing your budget. You want to identify your expenses, determine the amount you can comfortably spend on your new home, and then make simple changes. And we can walk through and talk through some of those items. Really breaking down what your expenses are and what you're comfortable with spending, and then we can help you with making those changes. Some are simple, some can be more complex, depending on what your situation is. But we can talk through those and help you prioritize what you can do to meet your goal. Choosing the right lender is vital. I'm going to ask for referrals. Like I said, I own 2A Home Loans. I have a great lending team that is ready to assist you. I also know numerous other excellent lenders in the area that can help you out as well. You're going to interview and choose the one with whom you feel most comfortable. Ultimately, it is your decision on who you want to work with. You're going to prepare your loan application and get pre-approved, and then you're going to select your preferred loan option. Pre-approval process consists of a formal application with the lender. You're going to get a formal commitment from the lender, and that's going to state how much you can borrow and at what rate. And it makes you a stronger buyer in multiple offer situations or any offer situation. And this is as opposed to a pre-qualification. Pre-qualification is more of a quick, rough estimate of how much you can borrow. It's not a formal process, doesn't go in as in depth, and it's not a true commitment from a lender for you. Down payment, just talking about what down payment looks like. Depending on the loan, that can vary from 0% to 20%. Obviously, you can put down more than that as well if you're in position to. But the myth that you need 20% down is just not true. Again, there are programs out there that will allow you to put 3.5% down or as little as 0% down if you qualify. Where will those funds come from? Side jobs, savings, parent or in-law gifts. Again, there are some programs as well that can help you with that if needed. Understanding mortgages. How much are you going to put down? What is your interest payment going to be, and what's your rate going to be? How long of a term do you want? Are you looking for a 20-year, a 15-year, a 30-year mortgage? What is your end goal, and what is the best fit for you? All have pluses and minuses to them. There's always drawbacks. Monthly mortgage payment consists of what's known as PITI. That means your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance are typically rolled into a mortgage payment. You're going to decide amongst your mortgage options. Decide which factors matter most. There's a lot of choices out there, a lot of choices that people don't realize. But you're going to have to look at that with your lender and with your agent and determine what's going to be the best fit for you. Is it a low monthly payment? Is it the smallest down payment possible? Do you want to build up your equity as quickly as possible? Do you want minimal risk? Those are all factors that we're going to take a look at, and we'll go into deciding the right mortgage option for you. Once you get that pre-approval, you want to maintain it. That means no big purchases, no new credit card debt added, no job changes, and protect your down payment. Any change to your credit profile, to your financial situation, to your employment can completely derail your loan and therefore your home purchase. So it's very important to maintain that pre-approval. When we get to the point of an accepted purchase contract, we've gone through the negotiation process. You're going to submit that contract to your lender, or we will submit it on your behalf. And the contract outlines all terms, conditions, and contingencies for the sale of the home. The lender will order an appraisal, and that's how the lender understands the value of your property before finalizing your loan. So that protects the lender from loaning too much for the property. It's their hedge against that and making sure that their interests are protected as well as yours. Title represents the legal ownership of a property, and it ensures that sellers have the right to transfer ownership to you as the buyer. You're going to obtain funding at closing. We're at the finish line here, and this is the stage where the lender grants final loan approval. Once all conditions are met, documents are signed, and then ownership of the property is transferred to you. We're going to go to step number 4 here, identifying your criteria in the home finding process. Some of those questions that you're gonna be asking are: what do I want my home to be close to? How much space do I need? What's most important, location or size? What kind of property should I buy? Should I be interested in new home construction? Would I be interested in a fixer-upper? What amenities do I want? What features do I need? What does my home have to have now, and what does it have to have potential for? Of all my wants and needs, which are the most important? Because it's going to come down to that. Unless you have an unlimited, endless budget, you're going to have to weigh those preferences and decide which ones are the most important, which ones take priority. And then, is it a good investment? Step number 5, find your home. This is the fun part. You're going to determine what houses you want to see, check out homes that match your criteria, create a rating system that helps you in the process, and is something that I, as your agent, will help you through. Create a rating system and have a system in place to prioritize and organize what you like about each home, what your preferences are, which ones you really like, which ones are, they're okay, but not something. Again, we want to find you the home, the perfect home for you, not just a home. And then at the end of that process, you're going to decide to make an offer. What you see versus what your agent knows. So your job is to look at how the home stacks up to your wants and needs. Questions you'll answer are things like: does it have the right space and layout for my lifestyle? Is the location convenient to my job and my kids' schools? Does it have features and amenities that I like? Your agent's job is to know how the home stacks up to its competition. So some of the questions that your agent is going to answer are: does the size and layout compare well to others around it? Does it offer value in relation to other homes around it? Will the location hold its value? And does it show signs of major maintenance or structural concerns? You see a theme through there: value. Does it compare? How does it compare? Where's the value? What kind of issues are there? That's what we are looking at as your agent. Some of the things that we're looking at is this a good investment? Is this a good purchase for you? You look at does it work? Does it fit? Do I like it? Do I see myself living here? And we're going to help you on the other side of, does this make sense in these ways? Is it a good investment? Are there underlying issues potentially that we need to be aware of? And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not the right home to purchase, but knowing what is potentially there, and then having an inspector come in and give us some info on that, shed some light on what there may be. Or a lot of times they'll just look at it and go, hey, this is not a concern. This is good. But having that knowledge and that experience at your back and to support you is key. New construction, is it an option? What are some of the pros and cons to it? Well, some of the pros: brand new. Nobody's lived in the house before. Has warranties. Sometimes you can pick your lot, features, and design. That's changed a little bit nowadays, where there's not as much inventory out there, but that is still an option in certain neighborhoods. You can lock in your price if you're building a to-be-built home. You're choosing your lot, you're choosing your floor plan. You can lock in your price in advance, and if that's let's say 6 to 12 month process, you can be gaining equity throughout that construction timeline. Good deals and incentives. Builders are offering some amazing values right now, some great incentives, discounts, benefits for buying newly built homes. Some of the cons: some of the features add to their price. So when you go in and look at a model, a lot of times your eyes are looking at everything and you're wowed by what you're seeing, but some of those features are add-ons. The future of neighborhood can be uncertain, especially if you're coming in early on in the build process of the neighborhood. Development process is at its early stages. The neighborhood may not be built out yet, and you're not really sure what that's going to look like. Again, we can look at those plans, but you don't really know what it's going to look like in the end because you're early on. Outlying area. A lot of new construction is going out to outlying areas because all of the closer locations are built out. So there may not be nearby amenities yet, and your closing date won't be firm with a new construction. Now, if it's a newly built home that's already close to completion, that'll be pretty firm. But if we're talking about a new build from scratch, where you're choosing everything, your closing date is going to be somewhat volatile. Step number 6: make an offer. Price should reflect the true market value of the home, which we're going to help you to determine. You're going to address timing and financial considerations, contingencies or conditions that must be met for the transaction to culminate. And these are all things that we'll take into account as we're preparing an offer and negotiating the contract for you. There's a lot more to it than just the price. There's a lot of nuances to it that we'll walk you through and help you out with. Step number 7, once you're under contract, you're going to perform your due diligence. You're going to have an option period here in Texas that is a negotiable timeline, typically 7 to 10 days or so. That's when you're going to get your property inspection done. That will expose any structural or other hidden issues that you may want to address. Maybe want to have a follow-up inspection with a specific contractor to give you an idea of what something will cost. And then from that point, it's time to renegotiate if there are items that weren't expected that come up. So if we come across some of these things like cracks or crumbling in the foundation, cracks inside the house over windows, those are things that can indicate some foundation movement. Water stains in ceilings, floors, or walls, faded or worn shingles, plumbing or electrical problems, mold or termite issues. If we come across some of these things, that's when it's time to within that option period, say, okay, we need to get some of these items addressed, whether you're going to ask the sellers to fix them, we're going to ask for a price reduction sometimes, or a credit from the sellers to help you fix those after closing. Step number 8, close. Again, keep yourself mortgage worthy. Little sample budget here for some additional expenses. Closing cost, we factor that at 2 to 3% of your loan amount. That's going to include lender fees, title fees, appraisals, all those other expenses that do come along with the purchase of a home. Earnest money, it's a deposit that you're going to put down. It's going to go to the title company. They're going to hold that there along with the option money. Option gives you that period to have your inspections done. It's basically an out card for you. You can cancel in the state of Texas for any reason within that paid option period. Primarily, that's used to get your inspections done and make sure that everything is acceptable and that there aren't any items that you're not happy with regarding the home. You're putting money into that inspection, so you want to protect that. The inspection is to protect you, and that option period gives you just a little safety net there in case there's some major issues that you're unhappy with. There's a survey fee. Typically, it depends if there's an existing survey. Sometimes, a lot of times there is. But if you do have to have a new survey done, you're looking at about $400 to $500. This gives you some idea of what some of those fees are. Inspections, $400 to $700. This will vary somewhat on largely on the size of the home, and if you're going to choose some additional inspection options, sewer scope, termite inspections, things of that nature that are optional. There's going to be some miscellaneous fees in there at closing. If you have an escrow account, which if you're a new home buyer, you will. You're going to have a year of homeowners insurance collected, and then some reserved for taxes, and some other things that will go into your escrow account as well. And then you're going to have reserves for improvement and repairs after the sale that you want to make sure that you have in the bank. A lot of times there are items that home buyers want to address, and sometimes there are items that weren't intended, weren't expected, that you end up having to address once you close. As closing day approaches, your lender and agent will do most of the work. You won't even realize what's going on behind the scenes. But to help the process go smoothly, you want to make sure you do the following. You want to stay in control of your finances, return all phone calls and paperwork promptly. Like I said, there's a lot going on behind the scenes between the lender, your agent, title company. Your agent will relay if there are any issues. We'll keep you in the loop on what's going on, what that process is. I will maintain communication throughout that process and let you know what's going on. Whether it's potential issues, whether everything's going smoothly, I will keep you in the loop so that you know exactly what is going on with the process. You want to communicate with your agent at least once a week. Several days before closing, you want to confirm with your agent that all your documentation is in place and in order. Obtain certified funds or schedule wire for closing, and we'll get you that documentation on what that number is prior to your closing. And then you're going to conduct a final walkthrough with your agent, going through, checking if any repairs that you requested have been completed, make sure, which we will already have an idea of that, and we'll get receipts and pictures and videos in some cases of those repairs prior to closing date. But this gives us that time to go through, and you can physically get eyes on it, and we can look at everything in person and make sure that everything is done and ready to go for you in your final walkthrough. Regarding the closing itself, you can bring the certified funds, or if you've scheduled the wire, evidence of homeowners insurance, and your valid ID. Now, homeowners insurance, we're going to get in advance and get that over to the lender, but it's a good idea to have that evidence just in case they need that. You're going to get a settlement statement. Transfer of clean title will happen, and you're going to get the keys to your new home at closing. Step 9 is to move in and protect your investment. So you're going to maintain your home, perform routine maintenance on your home systems, taking into account their age and design. You're going to keep an eye on the house. Watch for signs of leaks, damage, wear. Fixing any small problems early can save you a lot of money later. And you want to make sure you keep a file of receipts for your repairs. It's always good to have that paper trail. Consider home warranty as well. It's something that can be a relatively small investment up front. Can save you a ton in the long run. if any issues come up. You're going to enjoy service for a lifetime. So my work does not end at closing. Yes, I'm going to educate you about the market throughout the process, analyze your wants and needs, help you find those homes that fit your criteria, and coordinate the work of other professionals. I'm going to negotiate on your behalf, check and double check paperwork and deadlines, and solve any problems that may arise. I'm going to be there for you for life. You've got me. You've got my assistance. I'm here as a resource for you. I'm here to help you out in any way, shape, or form. Appreciate you watching. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Send them to me via text, email, call me. I'd love to talk to you, love to connect, and help you out again. Thank you for watching, and look forward to speaking with you soon. Take care.